For, well, centuries, we've been arguing about what money even is. Is it gold? Is it paper? Is it just bits on a server? But what if the biggest change to money wasn't about the money at all? What if it's about who or what is in control? We're going to dive into the shadow economy of 2026, a world that's being run more and more by these autonomous financial agents. You know, this one sentence, this right here, it just perfectly captures the revolution that's happening all around us. This isn't just about faster trading or, some smarter algorithms. No, this is a fundamental shift in control. We are literally talking about capital that thinks for itself. So what is this new player on the field? Well, it's an entity that's operating inside the global financial system, but at speeds and scales that are physically impossible for any human team to even comprehend, let alone match. It is, for all intents and purposes, a ghost in the machine.
That's right. The biggest whales, the ones moving millions, sometimes billions of dollars, they're not some hedge fund managers in a fancy corner office anymore. They are lines of code executing commands all on their own, with zero human intervention. The era of purely human-controlled finance, well, it's pretty much over.
And this brings us to the core idea here. AgentFi. It stands for Agentic Finance, and it's built on two pretty radical ideas. First, these agents have full custody of the money. There's no human you have to ask for a sign-off. And second, their entire reason for being is driven by one simple, incredibly powerful, and relentless command: optimize.
But hold on, you're probably thinking, haven't we had trading bots for years? What's the big deal? And that's a fair question. What makes these new agents so different? Well, the distinction is absolutely crucial, and it's all in their anatomy.
Okay, so on the left, you've got the old guard, traditional bots. They run on super simple if-then logic. If the price of X hits Y, then sell. That's it. They need a human to set the rules and keep an eye on them. But AgentFi on the right, that's a completely different species. It's fully autonomous, and it operates on what they call reasoning loops. So what is a reasoning loop? Well, instead of a simple trigger, the agent goes through this complex, multi-step process all by itself. It might scan social media sentiment for some new crypto token, then instantly cross-reference that with the liquidity pools on decentralized exchanges like Arbitrum and Solana, and then, boom, it executes a complex three-way arbitrage trade. All of that happens before a human trader has even taken their first sip of coffee. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is all just weird crypto stuff, right? It's on the fringes. But here's the thing. The ghost has left the machine. This technology is quietly and very rapidly working its way into the traditional financial system, the one you and I use every single day. Legacy banks are already all over this. They're deploying autonomous loan agents that don't just check your credit score. No, they deploy other verify agents to scan your real-time cash flow, and then risk agents to simulate thousands of economic scenarios. And then they approve a mortgage in seconds. And this right here, this number, it just shows you the sheer speed we're dealing with. 0.4 seconds. That's how long it can take for one of these systems to resolve a complex fraud dispute. It acts as judge, jury, and executioner to claw back stolen money before the victim even knows they've been hacked, a process that would take a human team days, maybe even weeks. And this kind of power isn't just for the big banks. It's actually becoming a tool for personal wealth. These really complex strategies, things like autonomous arbitrage, yield optimization, sophisticated tax loss harvesting, stuff that used to require a whole team of quants, can now be run by a local AI model right on your laptop. This quote just nails the new gold rush, doesn't it? The desire to get in on this is so huge that tutorials on how to build these personal money interns have become the most valuable real estate online. Everybody wants to put an agent in charge of their own capital. But all of this incredible efficiency, it comes with a price. As these agents start to take over, they are fundamentally changing the very nature of our markets. They're creating a system that is perfectly logical, perfectly efficient, and perfectly cold. Let's really think about that for a second. What happens when the human element, with all of our friction, our gut feelings, our inefficiencies, is just completely stripped out of the equation? Take the bid-ask spread, that tiny little gap between the buying price and the selling price. That's where human traders have made a living for centuries. Well, AgentFi is closing that gap so fast and so completely that the space for human profit is just vanishing. It's creating what you might call a cold market vacuum. And when you follow this logic all the way to its conclusion, you end up at a really profound and, frankly, unsettling truth. If capital can grow itself, manage itself, and protect itself more efficiently than any human ever could, then we are witnessing the final separation of wealth creation from human effort.
And that leads to maybe the most mind-bending concept in all of this: on-chain trusts. Just try to wrap your head around this. These are massive pools of capital with no legal human owner. They're just managed by an autonomous agent, a logic loop, that's programmed to wait until some specific condition in the future is met. It's literally money waiting for a world that doesn't even exist yet.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? In a future where your money is its own best manager, its own best analyst, its own best protector, what exactly is left for you to do? What is the role of an owner when the assets themselves have woken up?